Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya on ISM. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, I saw a video where a black woman, Jules, she was talking about how, she spent most of her teen time and her early adulthood working. Why? Because, like, she probably was thinking that she was going to make something out of it, not knowing that you all already know how the system is. Now, you all know how there are planned the HB1 visa is a thing now, and how Ramaswamy is working, Vivek Ramaswamy is working so hard to make sure that people are coming in from other countries to come and do the job. And you all already know all this kind of thing. When I am not anti-immigration, right? But there are some things you need to put the people, the indigenous in place before looking for a way to bring in other people. And what are you making a safe space for the indigenous, or it's just going to be like everybody comes and then the market is saturated, the indigenous are not able to find work, and maybe the salary are not no more the same, and life is kind of hard for them. Now, for example, people that school in US are likely to pay way, way, way higher than any other person. Maybe somebody that schooled in, let's say, India and other places. And then in the end, you as American is not able to find job. And them that just migrated are getting jobs, and and then your salary and their salary are kind of the same. Check it out. That ain't making sense. Let's get into this.
Vivek Ramaswamy is going through what I need every immigrant, first gen, and second gen American to understand very deeply. No matter how much you try to assimilate, no matter how much you try to talk like them, dress like them, move up the corporate ladder, take the bullshit up the ass relentlessly, you are always going to just be another fucking slur to them. Because it's so funny. What Vivek Ramaswamy is talking about in his tweet, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, Vivek essentially made a tweet stating that Americans need to prioritize more so the valedictorian over the jock. They need to prioritize the math Olympiad over the fucking, I don't know, some other nonsense that he concocted in his head. And I think what's funny about that, more so than anything else, is that what he wants is for Americans to have zero work-life balance. What he is describing, all of these parents who immigrate into the U.S. and give birth to children here or bring children here, and then raise them to have no social life, no social skills, but literally can work for a corporation day in and day out, asking for no time off, no paid leave, no sick leave, none of that. They want you to be a robot. They want you to be another cog in the machine for capitalism. And so many immigrants come to the United States thinking that if they just do that, if they just be the cog in the machine, and all these ungrateful Americans are just being so ungrateful and don't want to work and all that shit, they can just rise up. And very obviously by the fucking slurs that are being hurled at this man, who by all intents and purposes is going to be one of the most powerful people in America, it should be incredibly telling that they never gave a fuck about you. You were always a token and you were going to get spent at some point or another. And I also think it should be more telling to more immigrants that the only thing that people seem to value in you as a human being with complex ideas and thoughts is the work in which you will put into the system. Not who you are, not anything about your culture, not anything about the arts and the creativity that you have, only that you can work in the machine and shut up and not complain about it. That's all they want out of you. And if you can't do that, they are simply going to replace you with somebody else who will. So why on God's green earth are you giving all of your attention, all of your time, all of your capabilities to people who don't care about you in the name of trying to find the American dream? And I say this as somebody who is first gen. I did the bullshit. I got the engineering degree. I wasted away much of my teen years and early adulthood trying to be a part of this fucking system because it felt like that's what I was supposed to do. My parents had immigrated here. They had given up the lives in which they knew to try to give their children whatever they could. And all I ended up seeing out of that was my mother, who was overworked and overrun by the state, who never was promoted, even after getting her master's degree. And I recognize, why the fuck would I bend over backward for a corporation of any fucking kind who is just gonna use me as a diversity pick and then throw me away when I'm no longer worth it. I will work as much as I need to get that fucking paycheck and go the fuck home. And if more immigrants understood this, if more first gen, second gen understood this, there wouldn't even need to be this nonsense of sending all these jobs other places and yada yada yada. They are literally just looking for cheaper labor. They are literally using you for cheaper labor because you won't complain. So when you're barely making it by, when you're suffering, when you have no life outside of your job, you have to understand that you're placating to the violent system because you think you're above all these Americans who don't want to work, and they still fucking you over. So let's think a little bit smarter and more critically about these systems and the global impact that they have.
About this.
Swami is going through what I need every immigrant, first gen, and second gen American to understand very deeply. No matter how much you try to assimilate, no matter how much you try to talk like them, dress like them, move up the corporate ladder, take the bullshit up the ass relentlessly, you are always going to just be another fucking slur to them.
In my sister's video, go listen to it. I completely agree with everything that they've said, but I wanted to add something that's a little bit different. The other thing I think Vivek Ramaswamy's whole rant points out is that a lot of Indians don't actually want to be white. They want the power of whiteness, but retaining the authority of their caste. Or right, Vivek Ramaswamy feels like he can talk like that because he is a Brahmin. He expects the authority of his caste to play through in American society. And because of American immigration policy, there are a disproportionate number of Indian Americans who are upper caste. And they act like it. They act like they have privilege because they've had privilege for millennia. And in a lot of ways, Vivek Ramaswamy is just saying what a lot of Indians think. We're better. We've always been better. And I think that's part of why people like Steve Bannon were so unsettled. Because they thought they were better. And there is something palpably different about immigration from India from the 90s on. They plan to keep a lot of the norms from India. Take the temple that was built in New Jersey that basically violated all these federal laws because they basically enslaved Indian workers to come work here to build a temple. They did that because they want all of what they had in India, plus all the wealth of whiteness here. It's massively effed up, but it's also very racist. And it's also why so many Indians voted for Trump. Right? They were like, hey, this is a guy who hates black people as much as we do. Hey, this is a guy who works and operates in terms of race and hierarchy, just like us.
This is all I got from this video, and sincerely speaking, it is really going to be a great moment for them. I love the fact that Jules, the black sister, her name is Jules. Experience is the best teacher, but some people will never understand, not until they come here, because from the outside, you definitely will hear that black people are lazy. I met a black brother, African American. He's from Mississippi. We got talking, like we really had a great conversation about how they think black people are lazy. I told him no. I don't think like that, and we don't think like that too, because it's only someone that does not understand how the system works that will say that. Some people are glamoring that American life. That they really cannot wait, no matter how much you pay them, they just want to come and see. Not until they get into the system, their eyes will clear for the ones that really understand. And I remember there was, I think when I started this channel and I was talking about how they are not even paying black people. They they are not paying. They call them lazy because they are not even paying them the money that they are supposed to pay when it comes to labor. Just pay them there is how I am supposed to put this, but I am sure you understand what I'm saying. Pay them what they are working for and what they are due for, not what you think they deserve. I have also seen, I am sorry, I'm digressing, but I do need to say all this. I remember meeting people, black people, that in their offices were the ones that train people at work, and the people they trained ended up having better positions and better pay than the person that trained them. Tell me where something like that happens, and maybe the person resigns, and you are going to call the person lazy. Why? Because you feel like they are supposed to stay no matter how hard or no matter how bad it is, because that is a projection you all have been projecting on them. But I am glad that is no longer working. People are understanding. So with this HB1 visa they are planning to, it's really amazing how they work. First of all, how come they are not even considering their own people first before moving ahead to do what they plan? Vivek Ramaswamy is just, I don't know what to call him, but it is really going to be a crazy time. I am going to advise youth, those in tech and all that, whether you are in tech and all that or not, if you feel like your salary is not fulfilling, look for something else, learn a skill. I mean, look for a way to push it. The sky is, how do I say that? Like, the sky is large enough to contain a lot of, like everybody. Make sure you create your own platform, because that will do you great. I mean, this is all I have to say. Thank you so much, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.